through some of the track information that we went through in our meeting during lunch today. Know we had some students that weren't at school or had other meetings require NHS or go to Mideast or any of those things. Just didn't hear the announcement or anything like that. So I want to go through kind of the calendar I gave out, and I want to talk through the indoor track info sheet that I handed out as well. And maybe even if you were in the meeting, this will be helpful because there won't be 40 people standing in a classroom. Even with a quiet crowd, it's hard to hear all the information all at once. So let's go through here. Just want to show the calendar that I gave out. So this is the start of it. So the first day of indoor is going to be December 1st. Just as a heads up before I get too far into indoor stuff, I had the outdoor athletes, so those that just wanted to compete in the spring, come in as well. For those that did basketball or winter sport, I told them basically, hey, part of the varsity letter is earning points towards a letter, and one way to do that's recruit. So I said, go recruit. I reminded them that they don't need to skip anything basketball-wise to come to track, and at the end of the year, at the end of the basketball season, they definitely get at least a week off before they have to come to any track stuff, or at least they get that offer if they want it. Otherwise, I said go recruit, and that's about it. I would suggest anybody that's not doing basketball and wants to do outdoor track should probably also do indoor track. So the first day of indoor, like I said, is going to be December 1st, but I urge those that were doing it that if they're taking a break from their fall sport already, they should probably start loosely kind of easing themselves back into exercise. That way it's not a shock to the system. Go for a light jog, hit the weight room a little bit, go ride the stationary bike, go shoot some hoops, throw the ball around, something. That way it's not a complete shock to the system. You got a couple weeks to break yourself in. We're going to meet downstairs outside the weight room. I'm not sure what all coaches will have day one, but we'll kind of establish a starting routine. That way we can maximize our time because these practices are a little bit shorter than, let's say, outdoor track or cross country. Try to get in, get out, and put in work the entire time. So that 3:15 time is a little loose. If we can get there and start earlier than that, that would be awesome. That 5 o'clock time may bleed into slightly after that, depending on the day. There will probably be days when we're done earlier. There will probably be days when we're done a couple minutes later, but I'd say give or take 15 minutes around then. We're just going to go, as you're seeing here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at least till after Christmas. You get Christmas Eve off. I have asterisks next to these two. I'm sure we'll talk about it more in the week before, but we'll see what our group's looking like and if anybody's dying to come in, and we'll see what the snow situation is, things like that. Definitely optional if we have them. And then we're going to have off New Year's Eve. To keep going, on the calendar, we'll notice that as we get a little bit later in, after Christmas, we're going to start having Tuesdays. Got a couple other off days on some holidays. And then give a week break before outdoor starts on February 23rd. Like I said before, if basketball's still going or anything like that, no worries there. Notice that in there. What you saw me just fix there, along with these other things along the side, are indoor meets that are relatively nearby. Obviously, we don't have an indoor track. We're not going to be hosting any meets. There's not a ton of meets around here. Marietta's probably the closest, but the meets are optional. If you want to do them, come up, say, hey, Coach Fish, or whoever really, register me for this meet. I'll put you in it, but it's self-transport. You show up. If I have the ability, or if there's a lot of you guys in a meet, I'll try to make my way there, but it's mostly kind of on your own competing there. If we have anybody that breaks into, I think it's the top like 40 in the state or anything like that, the state meet, I believe, is like this weekend of the 5th there, but we'll deal with that if that arises. Okay, let's talk about the info sheet now. So we touched on these things lightly, but just to go back through. What is indoor track? So it's basically conditioning for outdoor track. That's why I'm urging anybody that is considering doing outdoor, come get in shape. You might as well do it. You're going to be happy you did it later on. It's going to suck in the moment maybe if you're not one that does a sport year-round, but you're going to be so much better off than you would be if you just rolled into outdoor day one. It's as competitive as you want to make it. Like I said, if you want to do those indoor meets and have an indoor season, you can. If you just want to say, I'm going to focus on my training and getting in shape, you can do that too. Because the main focus of it is going to be conditioning. Event-specific stuff will probably come a little bit later. I'd say for the first month or so, I wouldn't expect to be getting into specific hurdle form or throwing drills or anything like that, but we'll get there. It's a long season if you want it to be, basically. What's expected? Indoors technically a club and not like a varsity sport. So it's kind of those that want to be there and get better are there. As long as you're making your best attempt to be there, if you miss a day or two, that's not the end of the world. But we're not going to come goof around or anything like that. Really, we're going to come get better. If you have fun while you do that, awesome. It's definitely not a no fun allowed type thing, but want to make sure that we're getting there and there's a purpose there. We're trying not to waste everybody's time of a group of athletes that want to come and put the work in. We'll probably end up splitting into at least 2 different practice groups most of the days, with like a distance group and then like a more explosive group. I'll probably have like middle distance and long distance runner, while it'll probably be coach row here in the indoor, but we'll probably have most of the coaches there, sprints and field events there. At the beginning, we're more likely to be together and just kind of general conditioning stuff. What does the athlete need to do? This is a big thing. They got to come prepared for both indoors and outdoors each day. Like I said, we don't have an indoor track, so there's going to be times where we're doing stuff outside, even if it's really cold out. That doesn't mean we don't have a chance of going outside. There's a lot of days where, especially for this distance group, we'll probably be both indoors and outdoors. You got to have like hat and gloves and that kind of stuff, especially once the snow starts falling, that kind of thing. You got to come prepared. I'm not looking to make anybody sick or anything like that. But I'm telling you now that we're going to end up outdoors sometimes, so I'm trying to get you prepared. Once we get going and I know who's showing up regularly, we're going to invite the athletes to a Google Classroom where I can post workouts and stuff. Let's say they miss a day and they want to still get the workout in, or there's a snow day or something like that. I'll post that there. Distance runners, most of them already have this from cross country, but if you're new to that, you'll want to download this free app called Strava and join our group BT Running. It helps me track kind of all of our workouts. And then finally, the social medias. The only I would say mandatory thing you need is to join this Remind app. So it's an app that I can shoot out messages to everybody in the group. You text this BT 2022 IT to this number, and it'll put you in the group. You'll automatically get the push notifications from me or Coach Rowe or whoever. The Instagram, you don't have to follow or anything like that. Sometimes we'll post pictures or videos of the athletes if they're all right with it. Working out, doing workouts. We did like mileage leaderboards. We did athletes of the week in cross country, that in track last year, that kind of stuff. It was fun. If parents take good pictures and stuff if they go to meets, I'll post it there. Twitter, I don't use it very much anymore. That's what it is if you want to follow it, and this is mine if you want to see what I'm doing, but I just kind of retweet running related stuff most of the time. Facebook group is kind of nice. I usually throw all the information in there too, but obviously you don't have to join that. All right, tried to keep that a little bit quick. If anything doesn't make sense, feel free to let me know, but the numbers were encouraging. I told him I'm definitely a competitive guy. I know that we ended the season extremely strong last year, and more numbers are going to help that. So really encourage the athletes to go talk to your friends, see if somebody's just sitting on the couch during the winter or during the spring, and see if they could come join a team that, we have a good time at practice. It's nothing too crazy. We put work in, but like I said, it's not a no fun allowed type thing. So, all right, like I said, feel free to ask questions. I'll see you guys.